4,000 years ago, there was a powerful, progressive, and incredibly wealthy city. It developed into one of the greatest cities in the world. The streets were paved. Numerous gates led into the walled city that had over 250 towers that were at least 100 meters high. This is where modern writing and mathematics were invented. Ferries, roads, and drawbridges ensured efficient transport, and the mythical Hanging Gardens were a feat of engineering and were one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The city's wealth was unimaginable. The people created impressive works of art out of gold. There was a golden image of Baal, a beautiful table that was supposedly made of 22,000 kilos of pure gold, with a golden lion and a golden statue of man. The majestic royal palace was the largest ever built in world history. Babylon used to exist in what is now modern-day Iraq. Everyone has heard of Babylon, or at least of the tallest tower in the world at that time, known as the Tower of Babel. But how did this incredible rise and dramatic fall of Babylon and the Babylonian Empire come about?
What's up everyone, I'm Drubinski, and in this video I am going to be sharing with you the beautiful city of Babylon in central Iraq. You can see behind me, it was once known as the cradle of civilization. It is literally where mankind started. There's so much to do, and I'm going to be taking you around right now. Here we go. I've now been in Iraq for 4 full days, and I'm feeling pretty settled after hitting the streets of Baghdad and exploring Saddam Hussein's abandoned palace. I'm telling you guys that this country is as special as I come, and I really enjoy sharing these Iraqi stories with you. But this video is about to top everything I've done so far.
Is Babylon really in the Middle East, in Iraq? What is the true location of the ancient kingdom called Babylon? And was it really called Babylon? What does Akkadian mean? What does Chaldean mean? What does Sumerian mean? And what does Persian mean? Have we been deceived? Has the wool been pulled over our eyes? Is there a thief among us, lurking about, in the shadows, behind the scenes, trying to be inconspicuous? A thief that steals the truth, hides the truth, embellishes the truth, lie about the truth, and will kill to maintain the lie about the truth. Such is the tactical behavior of this thief, one that operates on a grand scale, and one that has very deep pockets. Nonetheless, we must do our research to uncover the truth that is hidden. What we know of ancient Babylon is that it is the only kingdom that sits on both sides of the Euphrates River, and it sits in a north and south position, where the northern part is directly above the southern part. We also know that the word Babylon is covered up, concealed, hidden, and masked with the word Witvlei. Witvlei is Afrikaans, and it means white marsh. It is a village in the Akkadian region of central eastern Namibia. The original name of the village in Kwekwe language is Eurikubus and means white fountain. Witvlei is Afrikaans, and Afrikaans is Dutch. This is the Dutch colonization territory, and the Dutch gained this territory through bloodshed of the Maharero people, the Avaharero people, who were pitted against the Orlam people, also called Nama or Damara. But don't be confused by the different names, because the Maharero people, the Avaharero people, and the Orlam people, these are all the same people, they all are Nama people. The colonizers love to play with words. It's the old switcheroo and the old trick of divide and conquer. So where is Witvlei? What is its location? Let the journey begin. This is ancient Babylon. It is covered up with a place named Witvlei, and more than 50% of Witvlei is a ghost town. Only a small portion of Witvlei is residential, and the part that is residential, less than 10% of this area, is for black Nama workers in the meat-producing factory. Most of the city is a ghost town, giving the false appearance of being a habitable residential area. Witvlei has a population of 1,389 people, where 80% are European Caucasians, and Dutch, and German, and Portuguese, with a very small percentage of native Africans or Nama people, who were massacred and pushed out of their land. The Europeans are in Witvlei, not just for the resources, but to keep and to guard the ancient and historical Babylon, while profiting from its relics. Babylon is now white, European, and became that way through bloodshed, which is the normal way and behavior of the European. The people of Babylon never referred to themselves as Babylon or Babylonians. The word Babylon is an English word, and it was first used in the 14th century, and it is from the Latin, of the same spelling, and the Latin is from the Greek. Akkadian is the adjective of Akkad, and Akkad was a city in North Babylon. It was not a language. Persia and Medes both refer to areas of the Assyrian Empire. Chaldean is a term that referred to Babylon. It was first used in the 1580s as a noun and later as an adjective in reference to southern Babylon. Northern Babylon was sometimes called Akkad, and southern Babylon was sometimes called Chaldea. Sumerian is from the French Sumerian. It is the name of a district in ancient Babylon. Herodotus described Babylon's reliance on the rivers, saying, "The whole Babylonian territory is cut up into channels, and the largest is navigable for ships and runs from the Euphrates to another river, namely the Tigris." The phrase "cut up into channels" is another way of saying marshes, and marshes are also called swamps. Babylon was a land of marshes, or swamps. Now we know the true location of the ancient Babylon, and now we know how it really looked. Babylon is covered up with a place named Witvlei, but Witvlei describes an important characteristic of Babylon, which is, Babylon is full of marshes, or swamps. Babylon is not in the Middle East, in Iraq. Babylon is in Namibia, Southwest Africa, in the Omaheke region. This is the real, the ancient, the authentic, the historical, the biblical, the scriptural Babylon, the one we find in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Babylon is supposed to be desolate and uninhabited, according to Jeremiah chapter 51, verses 61 and 62. The ancient ruins of Babylon are left untouched. The colonizers built houses around many of the ancient ruins to give the false appearance that this city is inhabited, when in actuality, a large portion of it is uninhabited according to scripture. The Babylon of the past is presently joined to and morphed into the Roman Empire, which is now the revived Roman Empire, the Vatican, along with its religious sector, the Roman Catholic Church. These two entities are now joined to Babylon and the daughters of Babylon. These three are united into one kingdom, one religious system, and one political system. This is the present Babylon, making its way to the future. This is the revived Holy Roman Empire, where there is absolutely nothing holy about it. Now some believe that ancient Babylon is Sennaar, located between the White Nile and the Blue Nile. But this is incorrect. The ancient Babylon is not in that area. There are several elements that must be present in order for Sennaar, in the Sudanic region, to be the scriptural Babylon. Elements such as Mesopotamia must be present, the Euphrates and Tigris River must be present, Nineveh must be present, the kingdom of Aram must be present, Babylon must sit on both sides of the Euphrates River, not the Nile, Babylon must sit in a north-south position, Ur must be present, and south of Babylon, the southernmost borders of Upper Egypt must be present, Goshen must be present. These elements and many more are important elements that must be present in order for Sennaar, located between the White Nile and Blue Nile, to qualify as the scriptural Babylon.